So we have stress, we have relationship stress, we have job stress, we have physical stress. Him running, running at that level is putting a lot of stress on the body. There's a lot of stress when you exercise. It creates a lot of inflammation in the body, and then the body has to do a lot of repair and maintenance. He probably was overtraining, looking back on it, and not giving his body time to restore and repair. So you have all of this combination, which is like the perfect storm for cancer to take off in the body. And so let's talk about the immune system and stress, because I think this is really important. We live in an incredibly stressful world right now. Obviously, with the wars going on in Ukraine, and now we have Israel, we have a lot of unsettledness in the world. There's a lot of fear. And I think that people also, just again, because I talk to clients one-on-one, I do one-on-one consulting, and I get to see and hear about lives. And I will tell you, there's not too many people that aren't stressed out. It just is a part of life now. It's so incredibly challenging to do the full-time work, the family, the commitments to maybe church or something like that. And it's just go, 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 go. And oftentimes we get ourselves so wound up into this lifestyle that the thought of even doing something like changing the way we eat, right? This is a big thing that Jimmy and I obviously teach and train on, and that it can be stressful. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just so easy to get up and just do everything the way I always do it, right? And so we are always challenging folks when they're going through our program that, this isn't, it's simple because it's simple to pick out different food, but it's not easy. It's not easy because we have patterns and habits that we have been maybe living for a decade, right? Or more. And so it's stressful to even change your lifestyle. But let's talk about some of the things we can do to lower stress in the body. First of all, it's important that you undergird your body with some good nutrition. Okay. If you can't get, this ideal diet in every day, that's okay. But you need to have a good, foundational multivitamin complex. Here's what I find oftentimes, because people will bring me, actually, I do everything virtual, but, they send me their list of supplements that they're taking. And we see this random stuff. I mean, there might be 10 supplements a day, and it's kind of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's kind of like all over the place. And I'll ask people, well, why are you taking this? Well, because, I read this in a magazine, or I saw this on Facebook, or my friend told me I need to try this, or, you just start to see people adding in kind of randomly this program for nutritional supplements. And there's not a multivitamin or a mineral complex in there anywhere. And so that's the first thing I always do is I pull back and go, okay, let's reevaluate everything. Let's get some good foundational things in here, because nutrition works synergistically. Like, for instance, vitamin A works better with vitamin C. Vitamin A works better with zinc, so we want to have these things all in a good foundational program. So we can put our link in here for a Full Scripts Pharmacy. We have a lot of suggestions in there and different price points for a good multivitamin. You want to get a really good solid foundation. And then you can add in some things like, say you have inflammation and you want to take some extra omega-3, or maybe you have a history of heart disease and you want some fish oil in there or something like that. But first of all, get a good foundation so your body has the tools it needs in order to fuel that immune system that is going to work hard for you every single day, 24 hours a day. And when we head into the fall, right, this is the kind of the cold and flu month. I've already had a cold. We may need to add in some extra things. And that just reminds me, because I want to let you guys know, we're going to be doing an immune boosting program here in not too long. And I absolutely love this program, right? Because this is right up my alley. This is what I just absolutely love. So stay tuned for that, because we're heading into that kind of time of a year where we're going to really need to boost our immune system through the next 4 or 5 months for sure. But let's look at what else do we need? We need sleep. This is another thing. People seem to have a badge of honor. Well, I can get by on 5 hours of sleep. Well, maybe you're getting by, but what's your body doing? It's not, there's no time to repair and maintenance and all that stuff with lack of sleep. So sleep is really foundational here. So you make sure and get some good sleep. You're not going to get it every single night. you're going to have some times where everything's just wacko. But really, I love just making sure that we have a sleep kind of pattern in our life, right? We don't plan anything late in the evening if we don't have to. We do sometimes, right? Sometimes there's things that make us are out later, but we try to do the same sleep pattern every night. And I think that's really important. It's super important that we don't eat late at night. We don't have caffeine after like noon. If you're super stressed out, then at night is the time to just chill for the hour before bed. Maybe take an Epsom salts bath, maybe put on some nice quiet music, unplug from social media and the TV and your phone and all these different things. You need to give your body time to just prepare to sleep. So sleep is super important for your immune system. That's a really foundational thing. Multivitamin mineral foundation, sleep is foundation. Okay. Now, stress. Stress is a big one. What I love is to teach people how to do what we call box breathing. And I'm going to do this for you right here, right now, because I want you to see how simple and easy this is. And when I'm feeling really wound up and really stressed out, and I could be in the car, I could be anywhere, right? And I can do this. This is taught to our law enforcement officers, our first responders, our military. They are taught how to do this. My daughter's in law enforcement, and she told me about this. So this is what you do. You inhale really deeply through your nose, and you hold it for 5 seconds, and then you exhale, and you push all that air out of your lungs. I mean, you literally push and push and push until there isn't any more air, and you hold for 5 seconds, and then you inhale, do the same thing, and exhale and do the same thing. It takes all of about 20 seconds, maybe something like that. But this shifts your body from what's called the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight nervous system, into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest system. And when we're stressed out, we are in the sympathetic nervous system. We're running on that fight or flight mode all the time. This can shift you like that. It can shift you in a second. Do you know when you're stressed out? You remember, you feel your brain is just like all over the place, like you can't focus, and your brain goes from this thought to this thought to this thought to this thought. After you do this breathing technique, your brain literally calms down and you'll be able to focus. So if you're with me live, I want you guys to try this. We have about 5 more minutes left here. I want you to try this. So we're going to inhale through our nose right now. Inhale and hold for 5. And I'll just hold up my hands, right? Here we go. Now, how long did that take? Maybe 30 seconds. It's an amazing technique. So I'm going to encourage you to use that for stress. Okay. It just takes a second. You can do it anywhere. You can quietly do it. Not even anybody would even know you're doing it. Okay. Now, the other thing, I'm going to point you at Jimmy's, his acupuncture practice has a YouTube channel, and he's got a lot more of his biohacking tips on there. He has some great tips for stress on there, and that is Achieve Integrative Health. And maybe we can type that in the feed. Achieve Integrative Health on YouTube. And you can go there and he will show you some of the tips that he does for acupressure that can help with stress, help with the adrenal glands and things like that. And so go check that out as well. Breathing, some of the acupressure tips can help shift you in the moment, right? To get into that parasympathetic mode. Now, finally, let's just decide that we're going to work on one thing. Okay. Again, if you're stressed out, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with trying to do too much stuff at once. And so think about one thing in your life that you know must change, that is so stressful in your life. Don't wait for a health crisis, right? Don't wait for a health crisis for you to just stop in your tracks and go, oh, I need to change some things in my life. Decide today that you are going to work on that one thing. And it may be scary, you guys. If it's relationship wise, it can be scary. If you have to head on, just, tackle a relationship and just say, I'm not happy, this isn't working, we need counseling or whatever, it is the best decision you will ever make. And I know it's scary because I work with clients who tell me this is scary. I have to go home and talk to my husband about this. Yep, you do. Because you can't get well in a body that is stressed out and unhappy in a relationship. So if it's a relationship, maybe it's that you have, I call it your kryptonite food, a food that is kind of like the Superman kryptonite, right? It just takes you out, right? It's something that you shouldn't be eating, but you're eating it anyway. It could be stopping at Starbucks, or it could be ice cream in the freezer, whatever. Decide it's going now. I am taking that out because I know the sugar is stressing my body. Sugar is an incredible depressant of the immune system. So whatever it is, make a decision and decide, I am going to tackle this. This is my intention, and I'm going to make a decision, and I'm going to do this. My health is worth it. So remember, health is not just the food that we put in our mouth. The health is the thoughts that we think. The health is the environment that we're in. We've talked about this with some of our guest speakers about, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they people that are lifting you up? Are they people that are bringing you down? If you need to look for a new job, decide you're going to look for a new job. I know that's crazy, but, you spend all of your life working. We spend so much of our life working. It might as well be something you love. Here I am at 72, and I absolutely love what I do. I don't even want to stop. I don't know when I'm going to stop, but I love what I do. And I was able to find what I loved in my 40s, which is never too late to start again. And I put that post up a couple of times, and people have commented and said, I really needed to hear that. It's never too late to start again.